Hello and welcome again to Between the Sheets, the show where we go inside the newspapers because, frankly, the front page is a little bit dull. Today I am joined by broadcaster and columnist Dawn Neesom, who is here to go through the stories with us. And Dawn, we must start with the BBC.
BBC is to send enforcers to the homes of pensioners who have not got a TV licence. I mean, can you imagine? They've instructed contractors, capitals to make customer care visits over the autumn, checking up on those over-75s who used to get free licences but now have just stopped getting licences.
We've got ourselves in such a mess here, though, because on one hand, the government have taken away this opportunity for people to have free TV licences at the very worst time during COVID, when perhaps they've relied on TV more. We've asked them to stay inside, we've asked them to isolate, we've asked them to be away, and then suddenly we're taking this money, if you like, this opportunity away from them. And BBC have decided, no, we need to get some more money. They're the core audience.
Of course they are. No one young's watching the BBC.
Not anymore.
My mum's not even watching the BBC, though, because the BBC have gone all woke and aiming at youngsters, and they're not watching it. My mum's not watching it. And I tell you what, if they knock on my mum's door, they're in trouble.
So what should the BBC do?
They should just... Here's a novel idea. What about putting programmes out that people want to watch? Do you think it'd catch on?
Well, you'd think that they would do that. But then on the other hand, they're very good at wasting money. They're very good at identifying and saying what we want. This is what you want to see from us.
How many managers have they got over there? How much money are they all on? And
it's if you've ever worked for the BBC, which I have, in some respects, do I want to see a national broadcaster there? Yes, I do. Do I want to see it run in the way that it's run? No. Should they be copying what commercial broadcasters are doing? Absolutely not. They should be doing what commercial broadcasters cannot do. And they've been interrupted further. Because, say, for example, have a look in your newspaper, in the Daily Star, a double-page spread, Jeremy Clarkson, 24 and 25. It's a wonderful article talking about...
Good page 1, 2.
Just because they've put your picture on the front page. But they've got a nice double-page spread where they talk about Jeremy Clarkson's new show.
You love this show, don't you?
And I do love
You
this
do
show.
like a tractor.
I do love the tractor. And Caleb, who's his kind of tractor man, and it's just funny. It's brilliantly cast. You'll learn some things. It's Clarkson at its best. This sort of stuff, and I know that he caused his demise from the BBC. This is the sort of thing that they should be doing.
Did he punch a producer? Is that what he did?
Yes.
Well, that's what my mum's going to do if they knock on her door.
Well, I think they're going to get a bloody nose from a lot of people who are furious with the way that they're dealing with this. Because also the licence fee, they keep pushing it because it's easy for the BBC to be funded by this sort of natural thing. Either it should be funded out of some kind of subscription basis, or it should be funded from general taxation. The licence fee per se is wrong.
I think
it doesn't work.
We just defund the BBC. They have to go commercial. I'm sorry.
Well, the problem is that if you do that, then you start to destroy something that we should probably have. But the thing that you could do is that you could have a funded piece, and then you could have a commercial piece.
But why should we have it? What are they giving us? They're not even.
There are some things. Well, of course they're not. There are some things that they should do, which should be provided by a national broadcaster, and I think we would be sorry if they went. But if I was there and if I was in charge, I would completely change their remit.
Freedom March over the weekend in London, right? Loads of people there. BBC didn't mention it. Why?
Well, we know why. I have to say, they are the national broadcaster, and the first time those marches took place, they weren't particularly huge or significant, but the last few have been. And it is absolutely extraordinary that they refuse
people,
to do
and they're ignoring it. At the same time as telling us there are 150 genders.
Okay.
Most of them were probably on the march they ignored.
Should we talk about another story then? So BBC, to you, they're dead to you.
Dead.
You see, I would save the concept of the BBC, but I would change its construct. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, here's something else that perhaps should be defunded.
Oh, I do like this story.
Oxfam have defined whiteness as the overarching preservation of power and domination for the benefit of white people in a survey on racial justice that has caused upset amongst many staff. This is a survey that was circulated to Oxfam's 1,800 staff in Britain. Here is an organisation that has an existential crisis about who they are, what they do, how they raise money, how they perform, the behaviour of some of their staff overseas, and they think that it's right to do this kind of stuff. I'm really sorry. It's time that Oxfam closed its doors until or unless they realise what their true purpose is.
But this was a survey. This is in the Times today, by the way. This was a survey that circulated to Oxfam's 1,800 staff in Britain. 88% of whom are white, by the way, saying you're basically racist if you're white, and particularly if you're female, as in born female, not transgender. You need to apologise right now because you're obviously a hideous, racist, transphobe. But you know what? How much money did this cost? And surely the job of Oxfam is to help people who need help around the world.
Can I just...
Not to make people feel guilty for something they can't basically help.
But you see, this is the other problem, isn't it, where it's gone too far? Because this is an extract from the survey itself, which I have to say enrages me beyond belief.
I'm not surprised.
Oxfam GB. Racism is about much more than the behaviour of individual people. Racism is a power construct created by white nations for the benefits of white people.
Okay.
That's what they're saying in the survey. I am disgusted that our money is being indirectly and directly raised. So it's being raised from the public to spend on this crap.
And that's the right word for it.
And then it's being raised from us indirectly because they are a charity. Mm-hmm. And I agree with charities, and I agree with their ability to be able to function in a tax-free environment for the benefit of the things that they support. This is disgraceful that it's allowed, and this is why we do this show, because these are the stories that should be on the front page, but of course we've either got COVID or football.
But I mean, you know, and this is, by the way, this is the charity that we're getting very hands-on in Haiti, wasn't it? Sexual misconduct scandal 2018, which wasn't that long ago. 3 staff were sacked in the Democratic Republic of Congo following an investigation into sexual exploitation of young girls.
But when you start to look at some of the salaries of their top people, and you realise how many hundreds of thousands of pounds they're paid.
But James,
again, this is a disgrace. It is a national disgrace.
What on earth was the thinking behind, let's ask all of our employees, actually not even ask them, because the questions they were asking, you couldn't answer in any way apart from the fact that admitting if you're white, you're racist, and there was no other alternative. Why are they even asking it? What's that got to do with helping the poor around the world, which is what they're meant to be doing?
But this is again, that we have become so distracted by matters of race and colour and privilege and all these other things, which, of course, there are things that society need to do. I'm not going to defend and say society is wonderful. But if you have a look around the world today, and you've got people dying of hunger, you've got people dying because... regimes, if you like, at the very top are rotten to the core. Governments are killing their own people. We've got individuals who, for whatever reason, because they agree with some kind of religious belief or something, think that it's okay to then go and bomb their neighbours. You know, we've got so many bigger problems, and yet we seem to be distracted.
It's not.
It's this wokery.
It is wokery.
It's this wokery by these nations that have the time on their hands to forget their core purpose.
And it's not tackling racism in any way, shape or form.
It's making it worse.
The average young black kid growing up in an inner city in this country is not being benefited by any of that crap at all. In fact, none of us are. And this is another little story that follows on very nicely from that in The Sun today. The Woke Brigade, a risk to UK unity. And, you know, you don't need a survey to tell you this, do you? I mean, you know, woke culture warriors are a noisy minority, but they risk tearing the UK apart. This is the latest research. Throwing around baseless allegations of racism and white privilege will lead to deep US-style social divisions, they warn. And it is, James. It absolutely is already.
But how do we stop this taking place? Because at the moment, we now live in a nation which is increasingly unsure about itself. That I think we had made significant progress with becoming a multicultural society, which managed to cross that divide. So on one hand, you want to respect people's individual cultures and religions and say, please do what you will.
We all do. We all
exactly.
did.
And then you want to be able to appreciate and live together and celebrate differences. I don't want to be homogenized.
No. And
I am what I am. I'm slightly old. I'm slightly fat, I'm slightly white, and probably quite Jewish culturally. So there are a lot of things there, and some other things.
Bloody hell, you are so cancelled.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you shop in Oxfam looking at some of your outfits as well. But I mean, it's like.
I'm certainly not shopping at Oxfam, I tell you.
Not anymore.
No, not never.
It's like, you know, we're importing this from America. We are not America. We didn't have segregation. We didn't have the whole we stopped slavery.
But this is the other thing is that you see people are being
guilty all the time.
Because people are being, first of all, I wasn't, my family wasn't even in this. I mean, setting aside that none of us were born when a lot of that stuff was going on. The second point is that there are lots of people who live in this, a lot of people
Close.
I'll get a mirror out. A lot of people who live in this country. So historically, my family came from Eastern Europe, from Poland, from Russia, from Austria, and they came over at the turn of the last century, and so the remnants perhaps of
very few of us,
but at that time they were discriminated against because they were the foreigners. They were so they were the people who were being excluded from all sorts of things. And this nation is extraordinarily good at accepting people who have come from places where there is trouble and strife and incorporating them and their culture.
Unlike America. So
why can we stop destructing what's so great?
America's system of race, hate and divide.
But it's worse.
Oh, it's
double page spread in today's Mail.
Oh no! Oh God, you're going to take me there.
Racially segregated after-school clubs. White pupils told their oppressors. Teachers banned from saying boys and girls. A dangerous, divisive dogma that has gripped the classroom. But now, at long last, parents are fighting back. So this is Guy Adams, and I have to say, if Guy Adams wants to find something, he will actually rip flesh from the bone until he gets what he wants to.
He's got the point here.
This is exactly the sort of investigation that needs to have more oxygen to understand, first of all, what has happened in our schools and universities by a group of individuals who have a very significant agenda to find out what teachers are teaching children. Because the problem is that when you teach children something, in the same way that we taught them about whether it was organised religion and so they felt ashamed or worried to move away from what they were told they had to be, or indeed sexuality, perhaps in the 50s and 60s, that they were told what they had to be and they felt guilty for the rest of their lives. You've got to be careful what you tell children. And if you're telling them this stuff and it's being put into, their brains that these are the things and this is privilege, and they're going to be wringing their hands forever as opposed to looking at what they can do in order to make the world a better place.
Working together, being unified. And you know what? And a lot of these kids are leaving school barely able to read and write. There was that story the other week about our John Lewis, wasn't it? Where a lot of the youngsters applying to work in John Lewis, they had to be given basic lessons in reading and writing.
It disappoints
me because their grammar and their spelling and their arithmetic was so bad. And these are kids that have been through 11 years of the British education system.
And you actually need to know more and more. So if you've got a situation where people can no longer communicate in an effective way, it's a disaster.
But they're being taught about, you are guilty. Little kids are being told you are guilty. Meanwhile, little black kids are being told you are slaves. No matter what you try to achieve in life, because you happen to have a darker colour skin, you will never achieve anything. You're always going to be enslaved to the white man. What are you telling little kids for?
Exactly. Why are you giving that message?
You don't,
and until or unless we change that message,
encourage them, build them up.
It's like if you have a situation and a culture that says, if you are good enough, can we, for example, can we just get to hiring people again for here's a set of skills that we would like you to have. Who is the best to do that job? And can we stop putting somebody into that job because they are of colour or of a certain background or of a certain race?
It's patronising and condescending, and I would like to think...
But it's okay, by the way, to take extract the Michael from somebody because perhaps they had a better education. Oh no, you can go to the back of the queue because you had everything that could possibly be afforded.
Yeah.
Oh, woe betide your parents who actually wanted to make your life better by making their lives better. Oh, you can't make those choices. If you didn't go through the sausage system that we have here, then, the cookie cutter that we have for this nation, then you can't possibly succeed because of the privilege that you have. It's just like, stop. Get the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Let's move on as a nation and give everybody the opportunity.
Teach little kids to look up to like our England players. The likes of Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford. Young men, working class, of colour, who have achieved amazing things.
Yes, and I would want to see all of that.
Other kids to follow in their footsteps.
But they are the best. Be the best and you will get there.
Exactly. But teachers need to be encouraging kids of all colours and all classes that you can achieve. You can be the best. You've got to aim for the skies. You've got to go for your ambitions. Do not make them feel guilty or downtrodden. Lift them up, James. It's just what we are doing to kids at the moment is just whole-scale child abuse. I'm sorry, but it really is. But it's not just this country either.
Oh.
No. No, this is the French evidently now.
The French?
The French are involved, absolutely. Zut alors, who would have thought? Evidently, but
Mon
French.
Dieu.
I know, and this is coming from an American university, the great education system across the world these days. They have decided, and this is in the Daily Mail today, that French cuisine is racist.
Oh, of course it is.
I know they don't like frogs very much, but the green frog type,
Okay,
not the frog
why
frogs.
is French cuisine racist?
Because it's this is a lady called Ms. Cohen. She would be a Ms., wouldn't she? From Connecticut University. She's delivered a lecture suggesting that French eating habits reinforce the dominance of white people over ethnic minorities. How does she work?
How
that
dare
out?
she?
A nice bit of cheese, bit of garlic, nice glass of red wine. How is that racist? Am I missing
must be.
something?
I don't know.
I'm totally missing something. Evidently, the whiteness of French food is all the more powerful in that it is unnamed, enabling the racial majority to benefit from food privileges without having to acknowledge their racial origin. What?
It is just...
What? I don't even understand what that means. But
what it means is that somebody has been funded to do some research.
Go on, just
should...
mansplain to me while you're at it.
No, not mansplaining.
You
I
are.
just think that they should be... No, they should just be defunded. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like, look, someone...
Am I a mansplainer?
Yes, that was mansplaining, wasn't it, girls? That was definitely mansplaining. Let me explain to you what it means. I don't understand it. It doesn't mean anything. How can food be racist?
Exactly. But I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know, but you had to explain it in simple words.
Well, sometimes I have to. Can we move on?
Please do, James.
Press 1 for hell. This is Harry Wallop. He's been investigating. It feels like we've been on hold for years, he says. Now our test reveals just how long it takes to speak to a human at major organisations. Have you ever, you've called, press 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for the other. Then your call may be recorded for quality and training. Well, if you're recording your calls for quality and training purposes...
Who are they training?
Who are you training?
I'm not answering phones.
Fire whoever's done the system because it's really not very good. Meanwhile, so he's... the DVLA doesn't answer the phone. HM Revenue and Customs, you've got to wait 19 minutes, 21 seconds. You would have thought that the organisation that's desperate for money because we've spent so much, they're running at a 16-week delay, by the way. Forget that. Transport for London doesn't answer the phone. British Gas, 26 minutes you've got to wait. The only one that's any good is the British Passport Office, 5 minutes. None of us are going away.
Exactly, we can't go anywhere. But I mean, what I don't understand with that is, right, okay, are they blaming COVID for this, or are they just useless in any case?
No, they're just useless anyway.
Because, I mean, it's like, COVID does not stop you answering the phone, even if you're working from home.
Oh, no, it does, because they're working from home.
Yeah, if they're working from home, you can still answer the phone.
Yeah, because they're not doing any work, because there's no manager looking over their shoulders.
Well, it's like phoning your local doctor's surgery. Has anyone tried that? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, just use the internet.
Press 1 for a consultation, press 2 for this, press 3. Press 4 if you've died by now, which most of us have done. So, I mean, the NHS is saving loads of money because we're all just dying. Not of COVID either, which only is the 24th biggest killer in this country at the moment.
Well,
You've got more chance of being struck by blooming lightning at the moment.
That's very true. Now, meanwhile, we must turn our attention...
Especially with the British weather.
We must turn our attention to the television.
Well, we've already defunded the BBC and promoted Jeremy Clarkson and his tractor.
Well, quite. I would like to have a serious management reshuffle at ITV.
Ooh.
Because
you do like a reshuffle, though, don't you?
Love Island has run its course.
I love Love Island.
No, it's crap.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's crap.
It's good escapism.
It's terrible.
Although, I do, what I find really uncomfortable with Love Island is that
all the six-packs.
Like yours, James. Inspiration. You should be on the next show.
I've got a keg.
Look, it's like
where's the fatty?
Beautiful.
Where's the fatty on Love Island?
Tokenism. They have got a disabled person on there, but it's not exactly...
It's not a very visible one. It's Clubfoot.
But all these beautiful, beautiful young... I've written about it in my column today, which is really good. Daily Star, Wednesday. All the beautiful young women in there. Stunning. Why have they got somebody's hair... somebody else's teeth, somebody else's eyelashes, and they've all had this plastic stuff injected into all their curvy bits.
Meanwhile, would you like to know? New season, same old failure to address lack of diversity.
No.
Yeah, no. Rashira Sharma has been writing and she doesn't like it.
No. Well, you don't like it, though.
Yeah, but I don't like it for different reasons.
Right, okay. She doesn't like it because it's not diverse enough.
She doesn't like it because it's not diverse enough. I don't like it because I think it's terrible, narcissistic TV. It's teaching people all the wrong things.
Of course it is. I know.
Yeah, but it's giving people aspiration to be famous for the sake of being famous.
I know.
And I want... Look, we've ended up with a lot of people wanting to go on TikTok and to and Instagram and all these other things at a far too young age. That is why, for example, we've got a lot of problems within our social sort of society because people are aspiring to that. They see programs like this and they think they can get rich quickly. They think that they can. They think that they can divert themselves away from what everybody else has to do. So if you want to be a musician, generally speaking, you have to have talent and then you have to work on it and work hard. If you want to be, fit and healthy and all that sort of thing, you've got to go to the gym. It doesn't just naturally happen. Amazingly. If you want to, whatever you want to do, even the most talented people in the world, you look at the footballers that we've mentioned briefly, the reason that they're some of the best in the world, the training that they do.
Work hard.
They work hard all the time. They're always thinking about it. They're always training. They're eating carefully. They're having their minds trained as well as their bodies and their food and their every aspect is being trained. You have to work hard. These people are not working hard. It gives a false picture of life.
Those eyelashes take a lot of time.
All
that hair being glued
Take it off the air. It's doing more damage than harm.
Look, I know, and there's the whole mental health issue with sort of like obviously the.
It's a horrible, horrible program.
I'm sorry. I know. It's a bit.
There are lots of things which are
escapism.
Look, you like watching that. That's the equivalent of me eating ice cream. I should eat less ice cream because it's bad for me. You should watch less of this rubbish because it's terrible for you. It's a diet. It's like a
That's
health
not really
food.
inspired me to do anything.
No,
like
but it's like a fast
do,
food diet of entertainment. It's horrible. It's easy to consume and it's dangerous.
But the thing is as well, it's like, oh my God, it's launched to the worst ratings ever. Well, because it's up against Air Boys in the football.
Good. Well, let's hope it just dies because it's rubbish.
Oh, I like it.
It's rubbish.
Well, can we talk a little bit about football? Because it's evidently quite important.
If you have to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. But you're a big football fan. You watched it. You watched it with your dogs. I know that. You watched the England game.
I'm not a big football fan, to be honest.
But your dog liked it, didn't
he? He did. He loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Good taste.
The other one couldn't care less.
No, well, that's probably watching Love Island.
No, he wasn't watching either.
I'm not linking dogs with Love Island in any way, shape or form, because that would be completely wrong of me, wouldn't it?
It'd be doggist.
Doggist, yes, exactly. Any case, now that's rich. This is our this is the Daily Mail again, and it's fury as business chiefs are spared quarantine if visit will bring major economic benefit to the UK. So if you're rich and you're going to come over here and you're going to earn a load of money, you can ignore all the rules. But hey, James, we're all in this together.
Yeah, but you see, we've now got to the stage in the pandemic where I think the government has got to, they've got to act very quickly. And they've got to act very quickly because we've now got different rules for different people depending on kind of your status. And to me, that's now wrong. I'm no longer bought into it. If you tell me that the science requires X, Y, or Z to be done, then I'll listen to you. And if the science is right, then it's right. Yeah. And there were occasions when, for example, and I know some people don't agree with aspects of lockdown, but right at the beginning of all of this, when they didn't know what was going on.
Well, no one knew what was going on,
exactly.
But now we know.
And now we know. And now we have the vaccine. Now we have the data from the vaccine. We have the information from around the world. The reason, for example, for us not to travel to places is less about us, and it actually should be about those other countries. So if we said, we don't want you to go to these countries because they don't have the vaccination program we have, you can still carry it, and you might kill some people. I think that makes sense.
It doesn't affect people if you've got a big bank balance.
But if you want to then say, okay, well, you can come in, but you can't go on holiday to these places which have a similar vaccination program to us, just because, I don't know, we're being cautious about the numbers. It's nonsense and it's rubbish, and it shouldn't be put forward in this way. And it's in the same way, football, oh yeah, we can have the stadium open, that's fine, we can do all of that, but you can't have a concert hall, or you can't have a theatre, or you can't go to the pub,
and you can sing and dance and party in the street celebrating a magnificent England win, and come on England on Saturday, but you can't have a dance at a wedding.
It's just rules,
and more importantly, you can have a snog and a grope with your aide, but
it still takes you a good couple of days to realise that you've done the wrong thing and you should leave your job. At least we didn't have to wait as long as we had to wait for Dominic Cummings to leave his job.
Yeah, well, no, that's true. But I mean, what an amazing man Boris was, sacking him so oh no, he didn't, did he?
No. Anyway, I did look really hard, by the way, in the Daily Mirror.
Do we have to talk about Matt Hancock and then you go straight on to mentioning the word hard? I mean, I needed to bleach my eyeballs after watching that video. I'm still in therapy over it.
Anyway, I had to look very hard to see if I could find a story in today's Daily Mirror that we could talk about, but I couldn't. Rubbish.
But they had nice pictures of our boys on the front.
No, it didn't. It was rubbish.
No, actually, it wasn't the best picture.
Rubbish.
No, I mean, you know.
It's like, come on. Meanwhile, there's trouble in West Sussex. Burning issue. Toxic fumes from bonfires are no longer acceptable, says Robert Bishop.
What? What are you talking about?
He's written to the news letters bit of the Daily Mail,
right, okay.
And he's angry. He's angry from Billingshurst in West Sussex. He says, if the Prime Minister is serious about improving the quality of the air we breathe, then a first easy cost-free step would be to ban the lighting of bonfires in people's gardens. Bore off! What's wrong with you, you stupid man?
I'm not really not that enamoured with that
if people live up and down the country,
setting me on fire.
No, it's setting me on fire because you've got to find a way to be. If you can't have, are they going to be banning barbecues next?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Come on, look.
But the smell of gently burning animals on a summer's evening are delicious.
You're white. You're Mal.
What's that got to do with the price of eggs?
Yeah, and you're going to set
Stop ruining my life.
Set fire to the environment. You should be apologising for everything you do.
Stop ruining my life. I drive an electric car. Only because it's cheaper. Stop ruining my life. I don't care. Garden fires are great. Barbecues are fantastic. Stop interfering.
The environment, James.
Don't care.
Oh my God. What are you doing to the world? You're single-handedly responsible for destroying it.
If you really cared about the environment, you're drinking your lovely cola out of a plastic bottle.
By the way. It's recyclable. It's got a little...
I don't care.
It's got a little thing on it.
We've got plastic everywhere, and why don't we do the easy things? Stop people leaving their mess and rare rubbish around and pick up all the plastic. When you've done that, then talk to me about the environment. Because then you'll show to me that you really care.
Stop shouting at me.
People don't care.
Mansplaining.
I'm cross. I'm not mansplaining to you. I'm cross with this idiot.
But we were also angry about plastic, and now wear plastic over your face and then throw it away because you can't.
It really upsets me actually when the amount of face masks.
Oh God, they're horrible, aren't they?
They're horrible. They seem to last forever.
I know, and they look like nappies on the floor.
Oh,
they're disgusting.
and when will we be able to ban the things? They're just terrible.
I know. Oh, can I just mention an honourable mention? Talking of the football because I quite like football. I know you're more tennis.
I am more tennis.
Rachel Johnson in the Mail. I read the Mail a lot today, but it's quite good.
You feel dirty and need to have a wash now.
Yeah, she's writing about football, watching football with her menfolk. Rachel, love, women do play football. We quite enjoy football, and this is the typical. Oh my God! I didn't know what I was watching. The boys were getting very into it, but I was going, oh, he's got a nice haircut. I mean, can I tear that up because I hate that.
Yes.
Stereotyping women in football.
Yeah.
You did that to me last week, by the way. I'm suing.
I
am suing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
whatever. You loved it. So.
What, you bonking me on the head, obviously. Because I'm tired. Possibly.
Children prefer web chatting to real life.
Not surprised.
More than 3 times as many primary children would rather chat to their friends online than in person. Only 23% of children aged 5 to 11 said their favourite way of communicating with friends was in person. Isn't this very concerning that we've now encouraged people to go online?
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. I think, but there was what was it? Young teenagers had forgotten how to flirt. There was
forgotten how to what?
Flirt.
Oh, flirt. Has a T at the end.
Flirt.
Yes.
Flirt.
Yes.
Are you going to mansplain how to talk now, or no, are you? Any case.
No, that's just a James-plain. Actually, it's not even a mansplain. It's just explain how to talk.
It's just explain how to talk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Use all the letters in the word.
I obviously didn't go to the right schools because I don't want to tear down every statue and things either. But no, this is really concerning because it's dangerous that kids as young as I think it's like over 50% of 10-year-olds actually have an iPhone.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, they've certainly got a smartphone.
Why do they need them?
Because parents can't be bothered to parent, and so what they do is they give their children the technology, and then it keeps them quiet.
They're 10.
I know.
It's ludicrous, and that's why they can't communicate like what I can. And it's like, but they've forgotten. We've got, because of the COVID as well on top of this, they've actually forgotten.
Exacerbated the situation.
They've forgotten how to have any social interaction whatsoever.
And
It's heartbreaking.
that is a major concern.
I mean, what are these, the kids are going to be haunted by this for blooming years.
We need to cheer ourselves up.
Uh-oh.
Could we have some end finalies?
And finally, right, okay. Hair do you fancy? Bit of fashion here, because I'm a girl, see, like Rachel Johnson obviously doesn't do football, but the hair's nice. And it's a pretty colour they look. Any case, this is the Telegraph, okay?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's fashion.
Fashion.
Yeah, Oxfam man at Oxfam. This is Jeremy Scott's new women's wear Moschino Resort 2022 collection.
Oh, yes.
Me, no idea. Any case, there is a bird here, model, with 2 ice cream cones stuck on her boobs.
Oh, lovely. How Madonna.
This is exactly, but they are like your 99, flake thing cones.
Do you like a 99?
I like a good flake. Yeah, I like a good 99.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for a while it was important to go continental.
Yeah.
But I think, it's back to...
But there's also a hat with a Knickerbocker Glory.
Really?
On your head.
Oh, I think I want one of those.
I know.
Lovely.
They're nice and cheap, yeah. Yeah, the whole... featuring accessories inspired by Sundays and cones. We don't know what to do next, do we?
We don't, except I've got something for you to do if you get bored. Because you know how suddenly we're going to have to...
talk to you.
I know.
Oh, no, that is boring. Sorry.
You know how we need to go out and reconnect with
we're
our...
not allowed.
Well, exactly.
We're not
But
allowed
when we're allowed to go out and reconnect with our lives, I've got an idea for you.
Uh-oh, go on.
Spice Girls fans...
Oh, my God,
because
no,
this is for
already.
the ultimate girl power. Spice Girls fans have the ultimate girl power experience with a stay on their 1997 movie bus. The Union Jack painted double-decker is now
Racist.
a £200 a night holiday let on the Isle of Wight. Look at that. What a place to go on holiday.
I like the Isle of Wight.
Me too. Shall we go?
Yeah, together.
Oh.
But moving swiftly on to my last and finally, because I know...
She's always going to have more.
Yes, how would you like to give a good stuffing to an old dog?
Wow. We just discussed going on holiday.
Get together, I know. But this is
Anyway.
This is a woman who gave a good stuffing to her old dog. It was a devoted dog owner who was so upset when a cherished Chihuahua died that she had him stuffed, and he now sits on her settee with her. I have filthy mind.
I have discussed having, but the problem is that the older that your dogs get, they get a bit sort of like craggly teeth and a bit old and a bit raggedy. I mean, the best time to have them the stuff is when they're young.
That's no way to talk about me. I'm not that bad yet.
Wow. And on that bombshell, we have come to an end. We've run out of time. Dawn Neesom, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
We're off to the Isle of Wight.
We will be back next time for some more Between the Sheets action. I'm James Max. Thanks for watching.